All right, welcome to Math Replay once again. I'm your teacher, Mr. Chavez, and this is episode 7. And today we are going to replay estimating sums and differences. Okay, let's get started. All right, we have a question here. How can you estimate sums? Yes, that's a very, very interesting question. Well, there's two ways you can go about it. If you look over here in the vocabulary section, we have front end estimation and we have rounding. Those are the two strategies you can use when you want to estimate sums. All right, if you take a look over here in the data package here, we have recycling cans, two categories. One is grade and one is pounds collected. All right, it seems as if the third grade, fourth grade, and fifth grade, and sixth grade of this particular school, Skyline Elementary, had collected some aluminum cans for recycling. And it seems that third grade collected exactly 398, fourth grade collected 257, fifth grade collected 285 cans, and sixth grade collected 318 cans. Well, if we want to estimate that, a quick way of doing it is using rounding, okay? Now, the first thing you want to do, in this case, you want to round each number to the nearest 100, all right? Now, in the previous lesson, you learned the place values. Now let's see if you remember. This is the ones place, right? And this is the tens, and this is the hundreds, correct? So in this case, you want to underline the hundreds place. You want to look to the right, ask yourself that question: is this number 5 or higher? Well, it is, and then you add a 1 to the hundreds place, and that's how a 4 comes here. And thereafter, the rest of the numbers in the tens and ones place become zeros. You understand? All right. If you don't, we're going to go over an example a little bit from now, okay? So just bear with me. And the next strategy you want to use is something we call front-end estimation, all right? Now, front-end estimation simply means you want to take the first number, okay? The first number in the number, which happens to be the 3. And you want to take that number, you can place it down here, and then the rest becomes zeros. So in this case, there'll be no underlining the hundreds place or looking to the right and asking yourself a question: is this 5 or higher, or is it lower than 5? You would just simply underline the first digit, okay? Hence, front end estimation. So once again, you take the first digit and you keep it, and then the rest becomes zeros. In this case, as you see, take the first digit and the rest becomes zeros. First digit, the rest becomes zeros. And as they say, the front end digit and the rest becomes zeros. So in this case, when you add them all up, you get 1,000. Now down here, it says, then I'll adjust to include the remaining numbers. Well, if you want to know what these numbers are, well, just come back up here in a second, okay? You see that 98 of 398? Yeah? All right, so you take that and you round it. You round it. It's very close to 100. So you'll say 98 is 100. And the 85, well, they got that from here. See, it was 285. And since we took the front end number 2 and made it 200, the remaining 85, because it's so close to 100, we just rounded it to 100. You get it? All right. Now the 57 plus the 18 is here. The 257, we took the 57 out, because remember, the 2, we took the front number and added 2 zeros to it. And so the remaining 57, we're going to add that to this 18 from 318. If you recall, this 3 was the front number, and the rest became zeros. And so now we take this 18 and the 57, and if you add those together in your mind, well, it's very close to 100. So we round those two numbers to 100. You get it? All right. So if we come back up here, the 3, the 2, the 2, the 3, we add all up, it would equal 1,000. And if we take these 100, 100, and 100 here, add those up, that'll be 300, and then 1,000 plus 300 is 1,300. Do you understand? All right. Well, let's go over a more concrete example, and you can see me walk you through the steps one more time, okay? All right. So let's go over here to our toolbox, and let's pick a color, nice color here. And let's see if we can come over here and work it out, okay? All right. Let's see. Let's take 298 and let's say 245 and 213. All right, and we're going to add that. And in this case, we're going to use the strategy of rounding. We're going to round to the nearest hundred, okay? Just like John did. Okay, so we like to underline the hundreds place. And then we'll look to the right, right? Look to the right. Ask ourselves a question. Is this number 5 or higher? Well, if it is, the rule is we add a 1 to that hundreds place. And so that becomes a 3. And the rest becomes zeros, right? Right. Now in this case, we look to the right and we notice that this number 4 is below 5. So if it's below 5, the number that we underlined stays the same and the rest becomes zeros. Now we come over here to 213. Again, we look to the right, we ask ourselves, is this number 5 or higher? Well, it is not. It is lower than 5. In that case, the underlined digit 2 stays the same and the rest becomes zeros. And because we're adding, 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 2 is, yes, 7. And these zeros have no value. These zeros have no value. So we get 700 as our estimate when we, what? Yes, round. Round to the nearest hundred. Now let's try that same example using front-end estimation, okay? Okay, so we have 298 plus 245 plus 213. All right. Now using front-end estimation, as you recall, Kylie decided that she's going to take the front number. Okay, so the front number happens to be 2, 2, and 2. It just happens to be coincidence. Okay, that it's the hundreds place. But in any case, we take the front number and we keep it, and the rest becomes zeros. You get it? All right. In this case, we take the front number, which happens to be 2 again, and the rest becomes zeros. And what do you know? The front number is 2 here, and the rest becomes zeros. And we'll add, and we get, let's see, 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 2 is, right, 6. And 0 has no value, and wow. So in this case, the front-end estimation, our answer happens to be 600. Now, if you wanted to, which I suggest, let's take this 98, and what do you think that'll become? Yes, it will. It'll become, let's put it right here, it'll become 100, and it's 45 and 13. Let's see, 45 and 13 is 58. And 58 is sure enough past 50, close to 100. If we wanted to, we can kind of overestimate that to another 100. And if we add 100 plus 100 would be 200. And 200 plus 600, wow, that'll be 800 if we use front-end estimation. You understand? All right. Well, I hope you enjoy. Well, you know what? Since we're talking about recycling aluminum cans, I did get a little something for you to watch. A program I used to watch when I was a kid, Sesame Street. Take a listen, see what it's all about, and I'll be back in a moment.
Some things can be used again to make new things. First we wash it and load it in the wagon. And bring it to the recycling center. Then they sort it separate it with a magnet, and scoop it up, and load it in big trucks, and take it to the factory, where they melt it and shape it and make it into a brand new can, like this one. And then we start all over again.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I sure did. Listen, I'll see you next time on Math Replay.